So I draw a cattle in 196 also.
Yes, sir, please.
No thanks. One diagram is enough representation. So what we are doing is we are looking at ratios and fractions, and we are trying to understand what it actually means when you say there is a ratio of two numbers. So we take, I just took the example of 40 is to 25 that's given in one of the problems, and I converted into a situation that we might be able to appreciate. So let's say that a farmer had 75 heads of cattle, and he decided to divide the cattle among his two sons, funnily Ram and Sham. And he gave Ram, the older son, 40 heads of cattle, and Sham, the younger son, 25 heads of cattle. He was not being unfair. Sham is younger. He has more time to grow his cattle. By the time he grows as old as Ram, he will have about the same number of cattle as was originally given. Of course, Ram will grow more cattle by then, but that's a different story. So this was the way in which the first farmer divided his head of cattle among his sons. Now, another farmer, a neighbor, he had 196 heads of cattle. Okay, and he divided the cattle among his two sons. What shall we call them?
The two daughters, Geeta and Sita.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. He decided to give it, he didn't have sons. He wanted to give it to his daughters. So he decided to give it to Sita and Geeta. Okay, I put Geeta as Gita. Usually it's spelled Geeta. And these are the archetypal Indian examples in every maths problem. Ram, Sham, Sita, Geeta. Sometimes they will use Abdul and Yusuf also. So how was it divided among these two guys? Sorry, these two ladies. Sita was given 75 heads of cattle, and Geeta was given 121 heads of cattle. Okay, let us say that Sita in this case was the older sibling and Geeta in this case was the younger sibling. We don't know the reason why this farmer particularly decided this ulta logic. He gave the older one lesser one. Maybe she was already married. Okay, so she was already married. Her husband had some cows already. So they had enough cattle. He thought that if I add 75 cattle from our side, they will have a good number. Whereas Geeta is still unmarried, so I will keep more cattle for her so that we can find a suitable groom for her. So 121 heads of cattle. Okay, I cooked up some story. So now the question is, if you want to compare these two ratios in terms of older sibling versus younger sibling. Okay, older versus younger. The question is, which farmer gave a better ratio to the older than to the younger? That's the question. Okay, so in that sense, if you look at it, then the ratio 8 is to 5, 40 is to 25 can be reduced to 8 is to 5 because both of these are divisible by 5. So you divide this by 5 and you divide this also by 5 and you get 8 is to 5. So the older is to younger comparison is 8 is to 5 in the case of the first farmer, the 75 cattle farmer, and it is 75 is to 121 in the case of the second farmer. So no, actually in the question it's the other way around, but it's all right. So which one gave more cattle to the older one in comparison to the younger one? This farmer, farmer A, or this farmer, farmer B? That's the question. So what is your answer? Hello?
Sir, like if you see now, I think it's B. If we check it right now, like 75 and 121, they have a big difference. So I guess
No, no,
the
no.
B.
Which farmer? My question is, listen to the question carefully. My question is, which farmer gave more to the older sibling than the younger sibling? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, like that. Okay, I got it.
So you got that right. So that would have to be farmer A. This case.
Yes, farmer A.
Yeah, because he gave, in comparison to the younger sibling, he gave more. Whereas in this case, in comparison to the younger sibling, he gave less. So that is what ratio means. Okay, so that is why 8:5 is the correct answer. I hope that's clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
So send a recording to Google Classroom if we have any doubt.
Okay.